Hi, my name is Mitchell Dupuis with Autoquip Automation, and today I'll be showing you how to repair a size 3 Autoquip air motor. You can purchase the air motor repair kit online by visiting our website, which will be in the description below, or by calling 262-781-6133. Inside the repair kit you will find 12 Buna O-rings, 6 size 11, 3 size 30, and 3 size 31s, 2 ounces of lithium grease, and 3 assembled pistons. Before continuing, double check the 2 green paint marks for alignment to ensure the piston has remained properly torqued. Finally, a drawing of the complete assembly. Now to start the repair. The tools you will need is a 7/16 wrench or a socket. To start, we're going to remove the 3 1/4-20 hex head bolts from the top and take off the crankcase top plate. Now we can remove our gasket. Make sure to double check this, that it's still intact. Now we have inside our air motor. We're going to want to clean out all that grease, but first we're going to take off the cylinder bodies to be able to access it easier. Take off the 4 bolts on each cylinder head. Alright, so all I did was I backed off these 4 screws, pull back on the sleeve to pull out your cylinder. Remove the 1/4-20 screws and keep them off to the side because we will be using them again. Now this is a very dirty process, so make sure you start off with a clean workspace and plenty of rags. Now we're going to take off the cylinder head and keep that off to the side as well. And we're going to push out our old piston. Just right through like that. Now the 4 O-rings that we're going to replace on all 3 cylinders, I recommend having a little screwdriver nearby to help you get out these old O-rings. So this is going to be one of our size 11s. Our other size 11 is going to be on the back head of the cylinder. We're going to pop that one off. Our size 30 is also going to be on the back side around the piston, and we're just going to pop that one off as well. And our final one is going to be the size 31, which is on the front of the sleeve. And we're going to take that off. Alright, now feel free to clean this. It's just going to get greased up again, so you can leave it how it is if you'd like. Okay, now that we've done that 3 times, we're going to want to clean out the grease that is inside of the air motor. Best way to do that is to have some paper towels, a rag, use your fingers, whatever. Just dig as much out as you can. Now that we've finished cleaning our crankcase, we're going to start rebuilding the air motor. Now we're going to throw away all of our old parts and grab new parts out of the bag. So to start off, we're going to take a piston and take a little bit of that grease that we were given and just line that back O-ring on the piston. Now the back is going to be where the screw shows. The screw is the back of the piston. So right on this side face of the piston is going to be a black band, and that's where we're going to rub our grease. We're also going to take a little bit of grease and line the inside of the cylinder block. Now once we've done both of that, we're going to take the back of the piston and send it backwards through the block. So from the sleeve down, and we're going to drop it in just like that and just push it in. Alright, now that we have that inside there, we're going to put our O-rings on. So our size 31 O-ring is going to go on the front. Now once again, I like to just put a little bit of grease. Your hands should be greasy right now from all that. Just rub some of that grease on the O-ring just to help it stick in place during assembly. It won't shift or fall out on you. You won't have to double check that the O-ring's there. It's going to stay there. Then we're going to take the 2 size 11s, and one's going to go back on that hole on the crankcase, and the other one's going to go on the bottom hole on the back side of the cylinder block. Alright, right there. Now our size 31, once again, we're just going to rub it down with some grease, and then that one goes on the back side again around the piston. And then we're going to take the cylinder head, put it back on the back side, put our screws through, and attach back to the air motor. Now that we've repaired the 3 cylinder blocks and put them back onto the crankcase, now it is time to put the remaining grease inside the crank housing. To do so, we need to push back the 3 pistons with our finger into the back of their housing by just moving the crank shaft to access the piston and pushing back on it. Now there's going to be a little pocket between the crankcase and the piston. In that spot is where we're going to put our remaining grease. Now, we use plastic spoons. You can use anything to put it in there. You're going to take 1/3 of the remaining grease and put it in each pocket, like so. Now, we're going to want to hook up our air motor to air and cycle the pistons. Now that I've put a 1/4 MPT to 3/8 piston lock fitting on the bottom port of our air motor crankcase, we're going to plug in our air with a 3/8 poly tube, and with our air regulator, we're going to give it a little bit of air at a time to get it going. So I'm going to turn this on. And now this is about the rate that you want it to spin at. Now we're going to have a lot of grease build up on top of our crankshaft. What we're going to do is we're just going to wipe that and keep it inside the housing. Now the reason we do that is because our vent on our crankcase top sits right there, and we don't want that grease to plug the hole. So just make sure as it spins, just keep cleaning the top of that bearing and keeping the grease inside of the air motor crankcase. Alright, so now that we have ran our air motor for 15 minutes, we are ready to finish the rebuild. So we're going to put our gasket back on top. We're going to put our crankcase cap back on top. And we're going to reinstall our 3/4 20 bolts. And that is how you rebuild an Autoquip size 3 air motor.